Hello everyone, my name is Riami A. Anyana and my partner is Nimrod Arancilio. A case study analysis about coffee production and its various problems located at Bigdaranan, Pangantukan, Bukidnon. Coffee is a broad beverage made from roasted coffee beans, the seeds of certain flowering plants in the Coffea genus, and the berries of certain flowering plants in the Coffea genus. The coffee tree will grow fruits after 3 to 5 years for about 50 to 60 years, although up to 100 years is possible. The blossom of the coffee is similar to jasmine in color and smell. The fruit takes about 9 months to ripen. Coffee is one of the world's most popular beverages, as some claim it is the most widely consumed liquid in the world aside from water. Coffee production starts as growing a coffee plant. Coffee grows on a flowering shrub. It is once tropical to native Asia and Africa, but now coffee is found around the world. Coffee wakes us up in the morning and keeps us awake during the day. Objectives: to assist coffee farmers with their difficulties and problems, to identify the various problems associated in coffee production, to determine the problems in coffee production. History: coffee is the world's second most tradable commodity. Coffee is darkly colored, bitter, slightly acidic, and has a stimulating effect in humans, primarily due to its caffeine content. It is one of the most popular drinks in the world and can be prepared and presented in different ways. The two most commonly grown coffee bean types are coffee arabica and coffee robusta. Coffee plants are cultivated in over 70 countries, primarily in equatorial regions of the Americas, Southeast Asia, Indian subcontinent, and Africa. As of 2018, Brazil is the leading grower of coffee beans, producing 35% of the world total. Scope and delimitation. The study is conducted in Pigdauranan, Pangantukan, Bukidnon, and we focused on the difficulties and problems they encountered in their production. Here are some samples of coffee production. Marketing channel. There are three marketing channels. First, the producer, processor, and consumer. Second, the producer, the processor, retailer to consumer. And lastly, the producer, processor, wholesaler, retailer to consumer.
This study. This study was carried out through interviews and observations of the activity of the farmers in terms of planting, monitoring, and especially harvesting the coffee product itself. So there are four known problems that are known in the coffee production. So first is the climatic challenges. Coffee production is largely relying or depending on the mother nature itself. So the climatic conditions is really affecting the growth and manifestation of the flowers and coffee bean. So second is the pest and diseases. So there are coffee bean borer and tiny beetles that lay eggs on the coffee beans. There is also roya fungus, a manifestation of condition called coffee leaf rust. So number three is the market forces. Unfortunately, coffee is a tradable commodity and is also susceptible to opportunistic market forces. Furthermore, there are areas that are far away from the city proper, which entails the transportation of products is very difficult and is also expensive. So number four is investment and infrastructure. There is a lack of investment in coffee industry, causing it a problem. Not everyone can appreciate coffee the way others liked it. So there is no proper education on the cultivation of coffee production, poor investment, and lack of infrastructure to process the products to be produced. The data on the problems encountered by producers and farmers were collected in this study, which is some of the major factors in measuring the production of coffee. These problems were actually answered by the respondents in the method of sanitation and cleaning of the field. They also advised not to apply and spray any pesticides and other harmful chemicals because it could trigger the manifestation of the flowers and beans of the coffee, which lead to less produce. So in terms of pests and diseases, which is widely problems in every cultivated crops, the farming solution is to clean the area, and as much as possible, the infected parts of the coffee tree should be cut off, or the tree itself should be eradicated for the reason of it could prevent other trees to be affected, and pests and diseases would not transfer to other coffee trees. So since the farm is large enough to maintain its cleaning process, and the farmer will just pay someone to clean the entire area. So in terms of water supply, the farmers are solely depending on the rainwater. For the conclusion, the various problems encountered by the farmers at Pigtaoranan, Pangantukan, Bukidnon greatly affects the yield capacity of coffee they produce. With that, it is very important to take concerns and to find solutions to these challenges in coffee production. To continue, the optimum manifestation of the coffee crops is still depending on the approach of the farmers, the way they intake to fight these problems. Therefore, in order to have better production of this type of crop, agricultural sector should have enough government investment in the coffee industry in the Philippines. This was according to Maureen Dahabe et al. 2019. There should be proper education on planting and growing of coffee crops for better yield and um, good help on the economic aspects of the country. Another recommendation for coffee farmers is that coffee waste can be alternative fertilizer in growing the coffee crop instead of using synthetic fertilizers. This would help improve the yield of coffee to be produced, but also to sustain the environmental and economical aspects